Early numbers are in, so how's day one looking? Make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oscons. We got Dortmund's early data here for day one, encompassing things. I would assume probably in a couple hours after this video goes up, we will have some representation out of the NA side, just to kind of see where things are going. So I wanted to paint the picture today, as I am an RT, just kidding. I wanted to paint the picture as to, how is the field kind of looking here? How is our new meta looking? Is it as diverse as we're kind of expecting it to be? And so forth. And 15% of Dortmund's entire day one field is actually Dracotail branded. Now, are we surprised about this? No. To be noted, though, this would be a separate build away from, I believe, would be the Magistus build, because it would be Dracotail branded Magistus. So I assume down in the 54%, you're probably going to see some other variations of this quite possibly running around. But the advantages to playing the Magistus stuff is you get another roundabout way to get to the Incredible Ecclesia, the Black Dragon, because, Zoro, being a tuner monster, is pretty reverse engineeringly cool for what the deck really wanted. But there's no Sword Soul Synchro. There's no other good level 8s to access at the moment. So, to want to play the Magistus package, there's not really much of a need to try to push for that at the moment, At that stage, you're just kind of like, well, we're doing a lot more for a minimalistic payoff at the end of the... that could be fine, but it's just not worth it in the current span of things. Now, Radiant Typhoon coming in at 11%. Now, I am very curious to know if this number is going to hold up come the NA side of things. Because one big thing I was noticing was Radiant Typhoon in North America it's here, it's doing okay. But when you're overall looking at the picture across the board, NA doesn't really feel like they like Radiant Typhoon as much as Europe does. So that's going to be an interesting one that's going to be very reliant on region to region. Do I think Radiant Typhoon's not going to top? No, absolutely. I think Radiant Typhoon will be in the top contenders for sure over the weekend. At what volume? Well, that's going to be to be determined after, all of the rounds of Swiss. We also had 8% Vanquish Soul Canine. The only problem that I have with Vanquish Soul Canine right now is the deck feels so normal summon reliant that it is freaking crazy to think about here. Because you're dealing with one of those particular decks, so you're like, hey, this shouldn't be too reliant on the pieces that it actually has in front of it. Sadly enough, it very much relies on, if anything happens at key normal, and obviously, you can't get a Holy Sue or a Joe Cool to kind of stick, or, a Stake Your Soul revealing, John Long to get the extra body. If you can't get these extra pieces on the field, the Vanquish Soul strategy just collapses in underneath itself. And it's going to work for some people all day long today. You're gonna walk into an Imperm, you're gonna have the Heavy Burger chain in hand, and it's gonna feel really good. But there's a lot of other people where that reality is not gonna happen. So, variance is gonna kind of take hold. Now, that 8%, 11, and 15 are your biggest thresholds. The minute that you cross underneath this line, the next closest number you're going to get is 4% of the field. Your 4%er is going to be Mitsurugi. Now, I am curious to know what's underneath the hood of this inclusion of Mitsurugi. Are we just talking pure Mitsurugi? Are we talking... I assume that this would be pure Mitsurugi variants. First of all, y'all crazy for taking pure Mitsurugi to an event right now, because that doesn't really... We've looked at pure Mitsurugi, and it feels inconsistent. It feels like you've got to have a supplemental engine within the deck to really bring it together. And if you're not having those, you know, supplemental pieces helping you out, then it really just feels like the game plan just kind of falls apart. But at least that's where I'm sitting right now. You know, maybe I'm misjudging this very, very harshly, but that's kind of what it's felt like with the Mitsurugi stuff. We've also got 3% of the field playing branded. Interesting that, you know, I guess this does take branded's representation up to 18% if you want to be technical, because you've got the 15% of the Dracotail variants and 3% of them overall playing branded. Branded as a whole feels really good right now. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, if you're going into this event, if you can open up branded Lost all day long, your deck is like the best Yu-Gi-Oh deck that ever did exist, man. Cutting your opponent off from like responding to you and trying to play the game is some of the funniest garbage I think we have ever had. And denial of chain links is something that Yu-Gi-Oh probably shouldn't continue to explore, because it's pretty broken, honestly. Oh, 3% of our field is playing Lunalight. Should we be happy or sad about that? I mean, it's funny to know that 3% of the room went, yeah, today is going to be the day that I'm going to ruin some people's days. But also at the same time, it's like, wow, you really chose to ruin people's days with that ignorantly huge boss monster. Like, I am freaking looking forward to seeing full steam ahead as to what this Lunalight variant, or how players are going to approach this overall. And also interesting to note here, we had 2% of our room playing Maliss. Maliss is very far from being done. I would say if you're choosing to play Maliss right now, obviously, you know, you're choosing to not play one of the best decks in the room, and that's fine. I mean, your 8th best deck according to the list of overall representation, and no, 7th best deck by overall participation standards. So, I mean, you're gonna have to work to climb over a lot of these hurdles and challenges that are presenting themselves in the arena right now. And I mean, that's fine. It's just Maliss feels so underwhelming. But hey, if the entire field, and I mean the entire room, has dropped Lancia, then your entire day just got way easier. And that's the kind of day that you want to have. You want your day to be straightforward, you want things to be easy, and you want to go, oh hey, boom, you know, straight to the ground and go. And you know what? That's the kind of stuff that gets the job done in this game. And I greatly appreciate that. Overall, there's nothing here that really surprises me. Judging by the highest number being 15%, I think is a good thing. I think it shows that while the format, you know, gives the appearance that it's not really diverse, I think it's a lot more diverse in the lower half of the decks than you can expect. Now, I would say after this weekend, you know, this format's probably going to shape itself up and be solved. But, you know, we have Mutaros literally 2 weeks away at this stage. And, you know, that's going to bring in the Dark Magician Splash package, and it's going to bring in Illusion Gate. And, you know, thrusting into Illusion Gate, blowing up your opponent's field, just trying to win the game right there on the spot. Yeah, that's going to be a problem for a lot of people, and I don't think a lot of people are going to really respect that at the end of this little block. So time will tell where we're going from here, but I think this is going to be a pretty decent weekend for Yu-Gi-Oh! So I hope those of you that are watching this video, if you are playing in the YCS, or, you know, you just click to see some numbers and data, I hope this helps for the viewers, you know, at home like me. Hi, still recovering from being sick. You know, this will give you a little bit of a picture to be painted. If there's something, a deck that you were debating on wanting to go pick up, you have some little options in front of you now to consider. And that's actually what you want right now, right? You want to know, hey, what's going to be the next best deck? Where can we go from here? How can we go from here? And what choices do we have to work with? And that's exactly what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all about right now. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.